Welcome to the feature of the week presented by Gamers R Us. This is Alex, and this week we are talking about Dota 2's special Wraith Night holiday event. As all Dota 2 players know, it's that time of year, and now it's time for loot. Magical loot. And Valve, along with Ice Frog, seems to have delivered. They've delivered a really nice, fun new mode that, while it's not Frostivus, it's certainly different. I just really dislike the fact they had to take away Skeleton King for it, I guess, by their reasoning. And in this mode, you have a limited number of heroes, as you're going to be fighting heroes computer-controlled heroes during the course of the match. The game mode is focused around waves of enemies and at times heroes and super enemies that want to come and attack your fortress here, attack your towers, and kill the sleeping Wraith Knight, Skeleton King. As you can see, there's a wide variety of enemies that you'll be facing. Very marked difficulty. This game requires a lot of teamwork. So if you have people who just don't want to work together, who just want to sit in their lane and farm, that's just not going to work for this. Well, I mean, it doesn't work anyway, but it super doesn't work in this. Probably the most unique of the enemies we found had to have been what I call the giant queen spider, who has a ton of hit points, does a lot of damage, but primarily runs around dropping eggs so that her little spiderlings can come along and destroy your tower. There's also appearance later made by a giant pudge and a horde of furions that create an army of treants that really can chunk through towers. As you can guess, as you progress by rounds, everything gets a lot tougher. They do drop more money bags. You don't just get money for killing enemies. You actually have to go and pick up the money bags, and if you don't, well, you'll lose the money bags. Same thing with droppable loot, like salves and potions and all the like, that have been beefed up to a degree for this mode specifically. Now really, the name of the game here is being able to kill a massive number of enemies very quickly. Straight damage is going to be very useful when fighting the largest enemies, but when you're largely throughout, I would say 90% of this, you're going to need to focus on AE damage. For instance, if you're Shadow Shaman, Rasta, you're going to want to use your ult a lot, so you're going to get Aghanims and you're going to get a Refresher Orb, because that's going to give you the best chance to hold off hordes and hordes of enemies that are taking apart your towers. And if you're a melee character, all the melee characters here essentially have cleave or some sort of AE attack. If you do have cleave, you definitely want to stack that stuff. Get Battle Fury, get crits, and get Life Leech. So you can at least sit there and semi-tank the enemies and kind of tank the bosses. And despite what you may think, you're going to need guys who can support. So, Mana Boots, Mechanism. Omni Knight is very useful in this because his ultimate has been changed. As you can notice, actually, Shaman's ultimate there has been changed. Sorry, not ultimate. Some of his spells have been changed. Some of the spells for heroes in this specific mode have been altered to fit it. And Omni Knight's ult specifically, with the fact it produces a couple of spirits to fight things, and essentially was global, extremely useful. There's no way I cannot recommend this game mode. It's a funny little deviation that you can do. I don't know, the more hardcore players may be wanting to get in on the matchmaking stuff right now, but this is definitely a lot of fun. If you have 20 minutes to burn, and you don't have time for a full Dota game, this will definitely kind of quench your thirst. But in this mode, just like the Halloween mode, you would definitely benefit from playing with a group of players that you know, simply because this mode rather requires a lot of coordination, and if you don't coordinate properly, I've nearly lost in the third round. So this is definitely not, it's fun, but it is definitely not easy. So don't let anything hold you back. Try out Wraith Night, get some loot, and have happy holidays. And I'm going to leave you with my nice epic fight there with Skeleton King, otherwise known as the Wraith Knight.
I accept your guidance.
Watch well, my nephew. My lord, come forth! Beat you like a drum!